Okay, imagine this. You just got promoted. You've been working toward it for an entire year. Your friends are celebrating. Your boss is praising your work. But deep down, there's only one thought. This is a mistake. Sooner or later, everyone will realize I'm not actually that good. Sound familiar? Then it might not just be anxiety, it has a name: imposter syndrome. And today we'll talk about where it comes from, why it affects successful people the most, and what actually helps. Okay, what is it? Imposter syndrome is when you don't believe you truly earned your achievements. You convince yourself it was just luck or that sooner or later you'll be exposed. The term was first introduced in 1978 by psychologists Pauline Clance and Susan Ives. They studied highly successful women with degrees, careers, and professional recognition. Yet, despite all their accomplishments, they shared one belief: I'm not good enough. It's not a mental illness, it's a pattern of thinking. But sometimes it's so powerful that it gets in the way of life. People become afraid of taking risks, pass up great opportunities, or burn themselves out of work just to prove they're worthy. Okay, but why successful people experience it more often? Here's the paradox: the smarter and more experienced you are, the stronger this feeling can become. But why? Because highly capable people are very aware of what they don't know yet. Meanwhile, people with less experience often overstimulate their abilities simply because they don't recognize their own gaps in knowledge. So, where does this anxiety come from? Here are three common reasons. The first is childhood. If your parents only praised perfect grades and treated anything less as not good enough, you may grow up constantly looking for a validation from other people and never feeling like you've done enough. The second is changing environments. You move to a new city, start a new job, or get accepted into a new university. But suddenly, instead of comparing yourself to who you were before, you compare yourself to the most successful people around you. And of course, you feel like you're falling behind. The third is your environment. Research shows that when you in a setting where aren't many people like you, for example, being a woman in a male dominated field, you may be more likely to feel like you don't truly belong. Okay, but what it looks like? Imposter syndrome often shows up through a few common masks. The perfectionist sets impossible standards. Even one small mistake feels like a complete failure. The natural genius believes that if something doesn't come easily, it means this just isn't for me, instead of continuing to learn. The soloist is afraid to ask for help because it feels like admitting weakness. The expert never feels ready. They always believe they still don't know enough. The superhero measures their value by how much they accomplish. The more they work, the more deserving they feel. Do you recognize yourself in one of these? That's completely normal. Most of people see themselves in two or even three of them. And what you can do about it? The good news is that you can work on it. Here are a few strategies that actually help. First, separate feelings from facts. I'm not good enough isn't a fact, it's a feeling. Try writing down specific things you've accomplished instead of saying, I worked really hard. Write, I finished the project a week ahead of schedule. Second, talk about it. Imposter syndrome thrives in silence. Everyone thinks they're the only one who feels this way. But as soon as you tell a friend or a coworker, you'll often discover they have felt the exact same thing. Third, change the story you tell yourself about mistakes. Instead of thinking, this proves I am a fraud, try, this is simply part of how every professional learns. Your brain doesn't just react to what happens, it reacts to the meaning you give it. And fourth, learn to accept the compliments. Yes, when someone says, great job, don't automatically reply, oh, it was nothing. Just say, thank you. Over time, your brain learns to accept praise instead of brushing it aside. Okay, imposter syndrome doesn't disappear just because you become better at what you do. The issue isn't your skills, it's how you see yourself. Even world famous scientists, actors, and business leaders have admitted they have felt like imposters. The anxiety may never disappear completely, but you can learn not to let it decide what you're capable of. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments which mask describes you best. Maybe someone reading your comment will realize they're not alone.